March of Cardboard is not over. We should have a pack opening next week. At least that's what the Amazon man promises me. Looks like he got a little delayed, but we are still going to pay homage in that, our weekly sacrifice or blood offering to the cardboard gods. Just this weekend, we're going to be doing it virtually. So as a lot of you know, I'm a big fan of the original Yu-Gi-Oh anime. And I'm also a big fan of Gravekeepers, so I thought it'd be fun to do a playthrough using Legacy of the Duelist, kind of through the Duel Monsters era, and just see how well this deck would stack up against the story arc in that particular period of the anime and that. So we're going to do a quick little breakdown of the deck, also kind of discuss some other rules I'm going to have in place for myself, because we are going to separate this into 3 different videos, so we'll at least have some extra stuff that we can pump out during the week, especially since we finished up all the classes in Space Marine 2. But yeah, let's get right into it. And I think today we're just going to do up to the end of the Duelist Kingdom arc, and then we'll kind of break it up from there as well. But we are going to be running a Gravekeepers decks. Now, I know this game does have a lot of modern support that wasn't available at the time of the original anime, so I wanted to try and minimize a lot of the more modern, powerful cards that are available. Granted, this is not nearly as modern as Master Duel. However, this game does allow you to do like an actual story playthrough and play against some of the opponents there. But enough of that, let's get into it. So we are going to be running a Gravekeepers deck. So we'll break this down real quick and then we'll get right into it. So we're going to be running 2 copies of Gravekeepers Assailant. One of the things to keep in mind with Gravekeepers is they mesh really, really well with the field spell card Necro Valley. So that's going to be a big part of this deck, trying to get it onto the field so that we can activate a lot of the different effects with our various monsters and even some of our other spells and traps. While Necro Valley's on the field, we're going to be able to change a target's battle position. So if we're going to swing into something where maybe one stat's higher than the other, as long as Necro Valley's on the field, we can switch it to hopefully either get in some life point damage or ensure that we just don't crash into something. We're also going to be running Gravekeepers Chief. This is going to protect our own graveyard from the effects of Necro Valley. 2 Gravekeepers Commandants. This is going to be a search card for us to get Necro Valley into our hand just by discarding this. We then have 2 Gravekeeper Guards, which these will allow us to bounce back some of our opponent's monsters. Also, it has a reasonably high defense stat, which is going to be nice. Then we also have the Gravekeeper's Heretic. I only have this to 1 just because I'm not crazy huge on it, but it is just nice that it does gain a lot of protection from other cards as long as Necro Valley's on the field. We then also have 2 copies of Gravekeeper's Nobleman. This will just allow us to, if something destroys this in battle, we can swap it out with something else. In terms of boss monsters, we're actually going to be running 3. We're going to have Gravekeeper's Oracle, as well as Gravekeeper's Visionary. For Oracle and also Visionary, we can get it onto the field with only 1 tribute as long as it's a Gravekeeper's monster. However, we do get various effects based on the amount of cards that we do use as a tribute to get this onto the field. We then have Gravekeeper's Priestess, which is going to help bolster that's a different card, but this one, if we don't have Necro Valley on the field, but we do have this, we can get this onto the field and it's going to treat it as if Necro Valley was on the field. You also have Gravekeeper's Recruiter. This is going to be very, very similar to Spy. This will allow us, though, to pull out maybe some of our monsters that have a little bit bigger attack, because this is 1500 or less defense. So, for example, Gravekeeper's Oracle, and unfortunately not Visionary, but it would allow us to pull this or maybe some of our other higher attack monsters. We then also have Gravekeeper Shaman, which will help us build up defenses should we need to do that. It gains 200 defense for every Gravekeeper's monsters in the graveyard. And we have Spear Soldier. This will allow us to inflict piercing damage. Spiritualist. We do have 3 monsters in the fusion deck, but we're not running polymerization. We're just going to be using the effect of this to get out our fusion summon. Gravekeeper Spy, very classic card. We're going to be using this to get out a Gravekeeper with 1500 or less attack. We have that at 3 copies. Visionary, probably personally my favorite Gravekeepers monster. What's really cool about this is it does have a weird kind of form of protection where if it were to be destroyed, you can just send random Gravekeepers monster from your hand to the graveyard, and it will save this card, but also give it a 200 attack increase. Now, I did also want to sneak in an Egyptian god because Gravekeepers monsters are a very Egyptian themed archetype. We did choose Obelisk just because this game does not have most of the modern support for the god cards. So with that being said, this is by far the best to run. It's the only one that's got any sort of real built-in protection outside of sphere mode, but we would have to allocate a couple more cards. So I just figured as a one-off, this would fit perfect. We also have Steel, which will allow us to bring back some of our Gravekeepers monsters if we need to. Hidden Temples of Necro Valley. Again, just another nice little spell card plop up. We do have 2 copies of Necro Valley Throne, which will hopefully allow us to either get more monsters out onto the field or search for like Commandant so we can get Necro Valley onto the field quicker. We are going to run Raigeki just as kind of a get out of jail free card if we do need it. Also 1 copy of Terraforming, and then we have Imperial Tombs of the Necro Valley, which this is going to kind of act as like our Magic Jammer, 7 Tools of the Bandit, just allow us to shut down any sort of, whether they be monster spell or trap effects, kind of help keep us from that. Judgment of Anubis, again, not necessarily a Gravekeeper themed card, but it does fit the whole kind of Egyptian theme, so we are going to use that as well, again, just to kind of help negate any sort of spell or trap use. Mirror Force, then 2 copies of Necro Valley Temple, and 3 Rite of Spirit, just so we can kind of get monsters back as needed. And then finally, we have Gravekeeper Supernaturalist as our extra deck. So let's get right into it here. We're going to be playing through the original. We're going to skip this first duel just because that's more kind of to teach you how to play the game. Also, Joey doesn't use like an actual Joey deck in this, so we're not even going to worry about it. And we're just going to go right here at the very start, and just like Yugi said originally, his grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, and we're about to show Kaiba why that is. So we'll go second, just because you don't get a draw going first. I know way back in the day that used to be a thing, but getting that draw can definitely be really powerful. Okay, so we did not get Necro Valley, but we did get Necro Valley Throne, so we're just going to go ahead, search Commandant. Go ahead to activate the effect, add Necro Valley to our hand, and I think we can probably tell Kaiba GG at this point. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get Spiritualist out. We're gonna pop the effect, and we'll get Supernaturalist, just in the event that he does somehow get out of Blue Eyes. 3,000 is a fair bit of attack, and while this deck does have some modern support, it's not quite at that level yet. But by activating Supernaturalist effect, we'll be able to add whatever kind of Gravekeeper we want from our deck to our hand, and we'll just start swinging. And I think we'll grab a Gravekeeper's Guard, just as kind of a backup in case he does have Summoner Art, so he can get Blue Eyes out rather easily if he would want to. Just go ahead, set that there. We'll go ahead and activate our effect. And we're going to grab Spear Soldier because unless he gets something wild and crazy out, he's probably going to be sending a lot of stuff into defense mode. So this will allow us just to continue to poke at his life points. That is one of the other nice things about Necro Valley, is it does give us a little bit of an attack boost, 500 in attack and defense as well. Granted, he did destroy that. Oh. Shoot, we forgot to attack there. That's okay. Because we're not going to realistically finish him this turn anyways. But we will be able to finish him potentially next turn. Unless that is a negate attack. But I think we can actually pull this off here. So we will grab Spiritualist. Get rid of that. We'll get rid of Priestess as well. And we're not going to use any of those additional monster zones up there. Also, the rule of thumb, I think, for the whole series will kind of be, as long as we can... Well, he did have a get out of jail free card there. He had 2. Okay. So he is going to be sticking around. But I think if we get 3 losses at any point in the series, we're just going to say, hey, we gave it a try with that deck. It wasn't meant to happen. I think we'll just swing away here. It's probably a negate attack. No? Okay. He's just doing everything he can to stick around, but he's going to go down. So let's see if that was the last pathetic card that he drew, or if that will be next turn. Nope, looks like that was. So there's Kaiba. Now we're going to be going right into Weevil Underwood, so at this point we've landed on Duelist Kingdom. Weevil can be a little bit tricky. Especially early on, like if you don't have a whole lot of cards or you're only using the story deck. Main reason is he does have Cocoon of Ultra Evolution, which will allow him to get out Perfectly Great Moth pretty quickly, which can be an issue. But again, we're just gonna go right into getting Commandant onto the field as quickly, or yeah, into our hand, so we can get Necro Valley onto the field as quickly as possible. And then we will set this. Set that as well. I guess we really don't have to worry too much about where we place them. We're not in that format. Go ahead, pop Necro Valley Temple, and just to keep the pressure on, we'll grab Commandant as well. I think we're going to grab another Spear Soldier, just because we can keep the pressure on him. We can use Spear Soldier to kind of poke at everything that's going to be played in defense. Because Howling Insect is going to trigger again. is fine because we do have Commandant back, which does have enough speed over that. There we go. Now we don't have anything that can immediately deal with perfectly ultimate, so we will set that there. Just that way if he does somehow, yeah, I was going to say, just in case he did manage to draw a Cocoon of Ultra Evolution, we can beat right over, or we can negate it from even happening in the first place. But very easy win there. Mai can also be another tricky one just because she does have a lot of the Harpy support that's available. I know especially once we get to Awakening the Dragon, that whole season, especially when she's got the Seal of Orichalcos, she can become a very, very quick pain in the ass. But we did draw Necro Valley and Necro Valley Temple, so I don't think that's actually going to be too bad to handle. Don't believe Assailant will be able to trigger since it's face down. Nope. That's okay. So I think we'll then just go ahead and flip over Spy next turn and pick up another Spear Soldier. Again, just to kind of keep that pressure up. Or we'll just draw it as well. So I think, let's see here, what all can we actually get? I think we'll do Spiritualist. Again, we're not going to use those monster zones just because technically at this point they did not exist. And let's just see if we can beat in some damage. This actually might be, yeah, I think, unless she's got a get out of jail free card, I think we win. Okay, very easy win. Mako's going to be pushover. I think really the only thing that we'll have to kind of keep an eye out for might be Tornado Wall if he does draw that and has Umi on the field, because that will kind of force us into a spot where we might not be able to do a whole lot to his life points. And we will go ahead, we'll just get right back into it with Spear Soldier. Let's see here. I think we will grab... You know what? Nah. We'll get our boy. We'll get Visionary. We'll just go ahead and throw up Necro Valley Temple just to decrease his monster stats. we will go ahead and we'll flip Spy over. I don't think, honestly, it matters too much what we'll do here. I think, actually, the play to make is going to be, getting out Oracle, and this should put us in range to win right here, unless he's got something to deal with Oracle. Yeah, so this should put us right at game. It looks like we're gonna get it. Now on to Rex Raptor, he's another one that's really not going to be any sort of an issue. I think the only thing that can make him somewhat challenging if you're brand new to this game is going to be, I believe he does have some very minimal Red Eyes support that he could in theory use. Okay, so we do not have any way to get Necro Valley out, at least right now, so yeah, we're just going to use Heretic and hope that can kind of beat over whatever he's going to immediately play. And there it comes. Right, and then, yeah, we're just going to go right into Spear Soldier. That way we can poke at whatever he has in defense. Yeah, so he, as you can see, he does have some Red Eye support, but I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to put us in a bad position. Now, I think if we were playing with the story deck right here, yeah, that probably wouldn't have been the best, but... And depending on what he's got in defense, we might have game right here. Nope, he's going to be able to bounce something back. We'll just go ahead and activate this and get another Spear Soldier out there. Okay. Well, still gonna get Oracle out anyways, so even if he does have a plan to get out Red Eyes, it's not really gonna matter. Because I think even at the life points he had, even if you were to have brought out Red Eyes, I think we still would have won right there regardless. And Bakura shouldn't be too bad either. I think the big thing with Bakura when you are playing through this with the actual deck is he does have some hand destruction stuff that can go on that can get kind of annoying. And I think, if I recall, I think his deck is more built around burning you. So far, this play hasn't led us astray yet, so we'll get Necro Valley out and just get ready to poke at his defenses. we'll grab guard. So unless he has something to nullify Raigeki, I think we're gonna win right here. I'm not gonna worry about doing that. Panic's another one that should be a pushover. Trying to remember, I think really the only thing that he has that's any sort of a pain to work around. Mirror Force, I believe. I think he has 3 copies of that in his deck. We'll just go ahead and we'll set a couple cards here and then we'll just send Heretic out. And yeah, so I think what we'll do is before we get out a fusion summon here, we'll just clear up our workspace. And you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We're gonna grab Spear Soldier. Let's see here. I think my math is correct. This should be game right here. Potentially. Math was not my strong suit, so now that's game. Bones doesn't even need anything said. I mean, with Necro Valley, that literally shuts down his whole archetype, so okay. I think we'll pop Nobleman there. use that to set up Visionary. Realistically, until we have a way to get Necro Valley on the field, just want to make sure that we can get some sort of beat stick out, just in case. And since we can't tribute, we're just going to get rid of Oracle. So not exactly, I'd say, the greatest play here, but it'll do. We'll just grab Assailant. So what we can do is we will just crash this. Alright, there we go. So it's... I think we were going to potentially win this turn regardless, but we're just going to make sure right now. Not that I think he's surviving this turn, but in the off chance. All right, I'm facing up against the king of games himself. Thankfully, the deck that he has right now is not the best. Of course, it is Yugi, so he is going to have stuff like Mirror Force, Dark Magical Curtain, stuff along that end. But then again, doesn't even matter. We got Necro Valley. So we're gonna go ahead and just get out Supernaturalist. Toss Nobleman. And we are going to grab Visionary right now. Just because he does have some removal cards. at least with Visionary, that's something that we'll kind of be able to deal with should it happen. We'll go ahead and activate our effect. I think we're just going to grab Temple. Set Spy. Don't think we will get an OTK, but we can just go ahead and activate that now. We should be coming pretty close. Okay, so we'll just give him Spy. Yeah, this'll do. And I think we'll just grab a Priestess just in case. Just as more of a throwaway card. Get rid of his Mammoth Graveyard. We did go with 2, just that way we're going to get another attack boost from it. Bring out Spear Soldier. So I think really, unless he can form some sort of defense, kind of be it for him. We'll just further power up Visionary and get Chief onto the field. That's turn 3. Alright, so I think it's going to be safe to say that one of those, at least one, is going to be Mirror Force. So maybe if we poke in with this, my thought process there was is sometimes I know the AI might wait until your strongest attacks. Get Heretic out just in case. Credit where credit is due, he's staying alive. But I think we are going to keep the pressure up, though. Just in case that's a scapegoat. Is that for the whole turn? Yeah. Nope. Okay, it's just for that one moment. This would typically, I would honestly say this right here would usually be the toughest duel in the Duelist Kingdom arc. because Taya does not have a good deck whatsoever. But thankfully, Mai does have some lower attacking monsters, so we're gonna hope. Well, I think this is gonna be the start of where maybe something bad happens. We'll see. Well, it's not what I was hoping for, but it does work. $1,800 should be good enough that'll hopefully buy us a little bit of time to get Necro Valley. Looks like we might have spoken too soon. So if we gain, okay, so we will get 600 defense. I think we're just going to beat Mai down with Obelisk if we can. Ooh, yeah. Okay, there we go. And there goes Mai. We're just cruising right through it. I will say this is a relatively consistent deck for something that's a little bit more on the fun side. Granted, the power levels that currently we are playing at right now, this is definitely overpowered, and I'm not even going to deny that. But I think as we progress kind of through this particular anime arc and that, the power level will catch up to the point where we'll have to make sure we're playing smart. Since this is Kaiba here, see if maybe we can get something. See if we can maybe bait him out a little bit. I think that worked. Go ahead and we will grab Shaman. I think what we're just going to do is we're going to get Supernaturalist out. We'll go ahead and pop the effect, and we'll... Okay. We'll go for Old Reliable. Another battle with Mai, so kind of as you saw the last time, she does have some Harpy support. Thankfully, though, it seems that luck is on our side, and she has not drawn a lot of the big major stuff that initially I thought if we were going to run into any problems, it would probably be with Mai. Relinquished is also going to be another thing to overcome through Pegasus, but really I thought, at least for this part, these would be the only two where we might see somewhat of a challenge, but so far we have not come across that. Now this, I think, actually in most circumstances, actually I think, yeah. Yeah, because we, yeah. I think we're just gonna try and get Mai on the back burner as soon as we can. Now, we won't be able to use that for my turn currently. However, my thought process is if she were to draw Harpy Feather Duster, could potentially create a situation that wouldn't exactly be the greatest for us. I think that'll be the turn there. See if we can just finish my off here. That's why we grabbed it. Not that I think that was going to put us in a situation where losing would be on the table, but it would have been a little bit more of an uphill battle. Yeah, we're just going to go all in. See if we can win right now. Doesn't look like we actually will win. But we're gonna have... yeah. Good old Bandit Keith. The something American, I believe. I think we're going to emerge from this one here relatively easily. Now, I do know Keith uses Mausoleum of the Emperor, which will allow him to get out some of his higher tribute monsters a lot easier, but that's actually going to work out just fine for us because I don't think he's going to have anything that's going to be able to deal with a Supernaturalist. But I do believe, though, most of the monsters he has all require some sort of tribute, so... just in the event he somehow does have a way to get over Supernaturalist, we'll be able to drop its attack. Yeah, so right there, that would be Mausoleum of the Emperor. But there would be nothing that he would use with it. He's going to still get the same outcome that turn. Okay, so we got 2 duels left here. We got Mr. Wheeler. We'll go second. So hopefully we can draw something off of it. nothing too wild from him. Just the old 2000 classic of set and pass. Did not want to do that, but... Oh, actually, never mind. For some reason, I thought it was going to get rid of that, but it didn't. So we're all good. Crisis averted. So I was going to say, that's one of the reasons that I also throw Necro Valley in there, is just because I want to make sure we have, or yeah, Necro Valley Temple, just as a way to make sure that we can get stuff onto the field if we need. Or Necro Valley, that is. Got a little tongue-tied there, stupidly. I guess we're just gonna make old Mr. Wheeler here. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna see what that card there is in the back row, if it's... Yeah. But I got a little confused there reading the text, wanted to make sure I was doing the right thing, but... Yeah, let's hope he's got some sort of trap to make this one interesting, because if not, we're gonna win right here. Well, doesn't look like Serenity's gonna get her eye surgery. Now on to Pegasus. So again, really the only two big cards he's gonna have that I think are gonna pose any sort of issue are going to be either Relinquished or Thousand Eyes Restrict. If you can get them onto the field, that could create a pretty sticky situation. So we're gonna try and play around that as best we can. Oh, actually he only has, or never mind, that is Thousand Eyes Restrict. Relinquished would be in the deck. Unfortunately, though, did not get what we needed. But Goblin Attack Force might not actually swing at us. We're just getting all those cards onto the field because Gemini Elf can, in theory, start ripping cards out of our hand. So far, not panning out well for us. Okay, so it did require Toon World to be on the field. Yeah, okay. Well, we are going to plop that into defense, just because we still have one Rite of Spirit left. I think actually what we're going to do is I want to get Summon Skull out of here as quickly as possible, and that did not work. It is okay though, because hang on by 200. Just trying to think of a way that we don't get our first loss here, but yeah, I think unfortunately there's not really anything we can do. Well, looks like Pegasus stole our soul, but that's all right. We're just gonna run it again. So we do have one loss currently. I do think, yeah, I'm just trying to think in my head of a scenario where we could have actually won. I don't know if Supernaturalist honestly would have done that for us. Now, if we would have drawn that Raigeki there, that definitely would have helped. But, okay, yeah, we're gonna go all in. We will get. Yeah, we'll play Commandant. See if we can get him to attack with Goblin Attack Force. That is okay. Actually, no, it's not. Never mind. Okay. So we're still in this. I've never understood what does cause the AI to do that, unless it's just trying to burn through cards, but... yeah, we'll throw our old spear soldier. Can't do anything with swords up. We can activate Necro Valley Temple. I think we'll go with this just in the event of a relinquished. Okay, there we go. I think that's going to be a good play. So we'll set that. We will grab a spear soldier here. We'll get in for 22. Yeah, we'll get in for 22 here. Now, we're not going to destroy it, which is fine. But what we can do, though, next turn is we can bounce that back to the hand. We still have one Imperial Tombs left. Probably should have activated the effect there, but I don't think that's really a big issue. Dang, okay. Well, that's fine. We'll still just poke the bear. Okay, so all of his toon monsters are essentially out. That was going to be Thousand Eyes Restrict. Looks like he is going to get Thousand Eyes Restrict out. Yeah, so we're going to lead with Spy. Not that I think it's really going to matter. There's not going to be a whole lot that we're going to be able to do right now. Guess we'll just have to see how this comes down. Say that's fine with me. You know, I bet you if we get Spiritualist, we should have a way out of this. So let's see here. Ah, no, just card effects. Okay. Okay. That's fine, because I think we just got the out for it. Yep, that should be game right here then. Unfortunately, that wasn't. We actually still, though, do have let's just check our graveyard here. Let's just see here. Oh, yeah, we've got, okay. We're good. So really, it's just going to come down to drawing said card. So what we're looking for is either 1 Raigeki or 2 Obelisk. We can't change position. That's okay. Alright, so there we go. That should be game right now. Yeah, so we'll just go ahead. Get rid of those 3. We're going to go ahead, activate our effect. We're gonna let a god finish him off, but actually we can't attack. We can have Visionary come out though, which is just as fine. And ooh, a whopping 6,300 attack. There we go. So there you go. We have cleared out all of Duelist Kingdom. So if you were running a Gravekeepers deck, in theory, you could win. You could become the king of games. But with that being said, that's where we're going to end this video. So the next one that we do in this series, we're going to go ahead, we're going to burn through all of Battle City, and I think we'll do that up until we get to Awakening the Dragons, and then we'll finish it off from there. But just want to thank everyone for watching, and we'll catch you next time.